But at least I'm not in jail, if you know what I mean. At least I am participating in this game of life. One of the best life hacks you will ever use is starting to treat life like a game. Have you ever been in a relationship where your partner is laser focused on a game all day long, all night, and you're just thinking, I never signed up for this? But this really got me thinking. You're wondering, how do they have so much dedication? How can I have the same dedication and drive in my own life? And then it hit me. Maybe it's because I don't really understand the game we're playing. In this video, I want to share with you all my lessons, all the cheat codes, everything I've figured out so you can actually start leveling up. First, we have to understand how our games set up, because in games, there's usually different levels that you can reach once you advanced. When you gain a special skill, you level up, but also when you conquer something, you level up. Actually, all these successes make you level up. But if you fail at something, you just start again. And that leads you to the gains making you much stronger, and the failures just keep you the same. But in the real life of game, it's different. It's paradoxically the opposite. The failures are what makes you stronger, and if you have wins, it usually remains you the same, and it doesn't help you to level up. Meaning, to play the game of life, you don't always want to win. You actually want to lose and fail as many times as possible, because that will actually make you level up. And you're probably thinking, should I sign up for more failure? Because I am actually dealing with way more failure than I want to. I'm a magnet for failure. But that's something I realized really quickly, that this is the way to move forward. That got me to cheat code number 1. Every time you fail, every time you see an obstacle, it's an opportunity for you to level up. This mindset shift helped me so much because I stopped seeing failure. I didn't see obstacles as a negative aspect anymore. I started seeing them as opportunities for me to really level up, because every failure meant more success. The higher my failure rate, the bigger my success rate. What it also made really interesting, that the more I failed, the easier it was for me to keep going. And the more you fail, you realize you're actually never really starting from zero, because you're now starting with the experience that you gained from your last failure. And so if you're feeling like an imposter, if you're feeling like you're not really good at something, it's actually an amazing sign, because it means you just leveled up. Because of course you're not good yet. You just started at a new level and you don't have the experience yet. So obviously you're not going to be great at it yet. And that feeling was such a release of pressure, because I didn't feel like I had to be perfect at all times, because I realized, you know what, maybe I'm not being that great in this certain area of my life right now, because I just leveled up and I'm just basically starting again. And that was so motivating to me. That was really, really motivating to me. But let's get more deeper into this topic. In video games, you're handed a list of quests that you have to conquer, that you have to gain a special skill to get good at. You have to just work on the list. But in the real life game, you don't really know what your quests are. You are already given the character, but you have to find the quests. There's no tutorial, there's no mission, there's no track, there's no guidance, there's nothing. It's just your character, everything you come with, your looks, your mind, your flaws, but also your skills. And you have to design your own quests, and that is so tricky, because you're not following a clear path. You have no instruction, or barely any instruction, to do it right. Where in the game, you just follow the rules. You follow everything they're telling you to do, because you basically have to design your own character, but the quest and the mission is already set for you. The hardest part about that is, in life, there are infinite quests, but you don't have infinite time. And that makes it very, very difficult. And so in the game of life, it's about choosing the right quests. The ones that fit you, the ones that challenge you, the ones that help you develop new skills, new character builds, that help you grow and actually make this whole thing matter. And that brings us to cheat code number 2, because in video games, all we're trying to do is rack up as many side quests as we possibly can to rank up our XP, or loot, or whatever. I actually Googled these terms. I don't even know what they mean, but more points, you get what I'm saying, more fun. But in real life, side quests are very dangerous. They're really fun first, but then they get really, really sneaky. Feel really important, they feel productive, they feel great, scrolling endlessly, chasing cloud, all these things that seem productive, that seem exciting, but these are the things that actually are holding you back. And here's the hack that you need to remember. The more you're focused on your main quest and the less you get distracted by side quests, the better your life will be. And I know this is super annoying because side quests are amazing and sometimes they do have purpose, but for the most part, the more distracted you are from your main quest, the harder it is for you to actually level up in your life. All these side quests are designed to trap you, and if you're really serious about leveling up, being the hero of your own game, then the only thing you can do is make sacrifices. It means walking away from cool, comfortable distractions and doubling down on your main mission. I know this is not really fun, but fulfillment and purpose only comes from things that truly matter to you and that are most likely part of your main quest. And that brings us to cheat code number 3. If you start enjoying, if you really, and I know this sounds really bad, but if you really start enjoying failure, your life is going to be so much better. When there's an obstacle coming and you just see it as a game, you just really have to think about how can I get around this problem? How can I fix the problem? How can I overcome this issue that has been handed to me? It really starts becoming more interesting because you see it as a mission to complete rather just being a victim of a circumstance that was maybe handed to you. Because now you can say, okay, I have this problem. Maybe I need to get some money. Maybe I need to, I don't know, it could be any mission. You just really figure it out. How can I make this happen? And it gets you so going because you feel it like, if I complete this mission, it will make my life so much better. It will make my life so much easier, but it also will give me, again, more purpose and more fulfillment because I conquered something. And that's what makes the game of life so interesting and takes away the heaviness when all these failures and all these obstacles are thrown in your way, because you now see it as a challenge to overcome and it becomes a game rather than feeling down and defeated. And the people who get beyond in life are the ones who don't mind getting it wrong, because they do it wrong over and over and over again until they get it right, because they know it's just a numbers game and at some point you will get it right. One of the biggest challenges I recognized when I looked at the game of life was recognizing your enemies, because in a game you can tell who's the enemy in probably the first few seconds because it's something attacking you, something coming for you. But in the game of life it's different. It's not always obvious. They don't always look like the bad guys. Sometimes just people who try to get you off your main quest. Sometimes it's people who envy your quest because it conflicts with theirs. And sometimes they just try to dim you down because they don't like the momentum you're having. Because they think if you're doing something great, it will somehow hinder them. And spoiler alert, of course it doesn't. And that's the so-called envy trap, which is a complete delusion that shouldn't even exist, but unfortunately does. We all play different games, different rules, different backgrounds, different stories, and as much as I like to preach that my whole life and sometimes have to remember myself, we cannot envy someone's success by not looking at what they paid to get there. What was their sacrifice? What did they have to give up? What is something they're missing in their life, but they have this? So we can't just look at what they have, we also have to look at the cost it took to get there. And that brings us to cheat code number 4. The only game worth playing is your own. And sometimes we come across enemies, but also we come across allies, and we should really focus on those people because they make it all worth it. Because at the end of the day, sharing those successes, going them with others together, will always beat being the solo hero of a story. They don't just help you win. And those people don't just help you win, they make it worth for you to actually be winning. The last cheat code, and probably the most important one, is the one that actually inspired this video, that actually made me want to sit down and film this, was something that I encountered yesterday. And it's the feeling of standstill, of no progress, and not feeling you're actually moving forward in the game of life. Yesterday I had to pay a 5-figure lawyer bill, and it really got me angry because I figured I could use this money somewhere else. I could really use it for other things than paying something that isn't even helping me in a sense. It's just preventing stuff. And it really got me frustrated because I feel like I wasn't moving forward. I was just preventing falling even further back. And then I remembered again the game of life where I thought, this is Monopoly. This is my get out of jail card, because no, I'm not going to gain anything. I'm starting again from zero, from start. But at least I'm not in jail, if you know what I mean. At least I am participating in this game of life. And although it's frustrating to start again over and over and over, we all learned today that we actually never start from zero, because we start with the experience, we start with the knowledge that we gain from encountering those things. But the most important part that I realized, and that's what made me okay paying this bill, not because I had to, but it was more because I realized how lucky I am to even be playing this game. Anyways, hope this helps.